Hi everybody, my name is Tricia Dycka and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, I am pre-recording this. So, I want to offer you, if after this is over and you have any comments or questions about anything that is said or discussed during this 30 minutes, please feel free to contact me at Tricia@triciadycka.com, and that is TRICIA at TriciaDycka.com. Please, and if you have any questions, I will respond to you as soon as I get them. So, moving forward, I'd like to tell you a little bit about me, my story. About 4 years ago, I moved to Florida and had a huge awakening. It was the best thing I ever did. I had lived in New York my whole life, and it pulled me out of everything I was used to. And I realized how unsettled and how unhappy I really was. And what was I doing with my life, and where was I going? And I wanted to start helping people. I just wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So anyway, fast forward 3 years today. During that time, though, there was a lot of stumbling and obstacles and things I'd love to help you bypass. And in doing that, to have a successful business, you really need a supportive environment. You absolutely need that. If you do not have a supportive environment when you stumble and when you fall, which happens to all of us on this great adventure that we are all on, it happens. It's okay. What I really would like you to focus on is making sure you have that environment. In the first section of this, we're going to discuss the internal running of your business. I've got a lot I'd like to discuss with you, so I'm going to look down at my notes quite often. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Now, what happens when you have no support from those closest to you? It affects you physically and mentally. So how can you focus on your clients, giving them 100% of your undivided attention, if you're constantly thinking about your friends, your family, your business associates, or whatever drama is going on in your life right then and there? You're torn, you're divided, and eventually it does take its toll. It did happen to me, and again, we're going to go through things to help you alleviate it. Now, 50% of all businesses fail in the first year, and 95% fail within the first 5 years. These numbers are astounding. I don't want any of us to be a part of that. So for me, creating an environment that surrounds me and supports me is a big part of my success, as will be yours. Support through your business, like the internal running of your business. I want you to sit down and think about and write out your objectives for your business. What goals? Where do you see yourself? What do you want to accomplish with your business? For those of you who are new to business, I want you to think about your passion, your motivation. What gets you going in the morning? Just to get a clear picture of this. And for me, when I first started out, website was just daunting. I spent an enormous amount of time trying to get a website up, get a website running, and it was a waste of time because I realized that is a severe weakness for me. I didn't understand it, and days on it I spent. So as you're starting out, figure out your strengths, figure out your weaknesses. If you're not 100% sure, because a lot of us really do beat ourselves up, we're our worst critics. Ask around. Ask people that you're working with now. Ask friends. Ask family. What do they think your biggest strengths are? And what your weaknesses are. And those weaknesses we're going to dole out to people. Give it away. For me, website. I needed to find somebody who could help me with my website. And a Weber. That was a treat for me too. So, if you don't know your strengths and weaknesses, send out a quick email. Get that information back. And once you have that, start focusing on what exactly could you give out. There are like VAs out there that do websites, virtual assistants. If you're further along in your business, I want you to know this. you do not have to do it alone. Women, for whatever reason, we feel like we have to do everything alone. And asking for help is like a mark against us. That's a load of crap. So ask, stand up, ask for help, ask for information, share information. The more we share and help one another out, the more we're creating this amazing environment, and you'll see how quickly your business does grow. I want you to also think about possibly bookkeeping, giving out your bookkeeping to somebody. And again, this is if you're in business for a while. If you're new to business and money's a concern, you may want to think about bartering. That's an option. If you want to teach yourself how to do certain aspects of your business, that's great. But do not spend so much time on it that the thing that you are here to help people with gets put on the back burner. You need to make sure that you're creating and sharing your gifts daily and focusing on your business. So anything that's going to take away from that and time consuming, you want to be able to hand out. For me, one day I spent a day trying to figure out where I was losing time and energy. And I realized one day how much time I spent on emails. So it got to the point that I now kind of like have a time limit on it. I'll check it in the morning, I'll check it in the afternoon and the evening, and I'll quickly peruse like who is sending me emails. Is it something I need to respond to immediately, or is it something that I can, look at later that doesn't need an immediate response? So another thing is check out where your time is being spent. One thing that I have that I want to share with you, if you don't already know, collaboration partners. Business-wise, I have several different areas that I have partners with. When I first decided to be my own boss, I stumbled more times than I care to admit or even think about at this point. However, I got involved with a group program, and from that, I met some amazing people who've turned out to be even more amazing friends. And these people, we brainstorm ideas for our businesses daily. Marketing, programs, teleseminars. We sit, we talk about all these things that we need to do within our businesses, and we're creating ideas and helping each other. So if you don't have any collaboration partners, think about who you associate with constantly and see if maybe you can get somebody to start collaborating ideas with. Another one, accountability partners. What is an accountability partner? I love them and have a few of them too. We may speak once or twice a week or via email. And what it is I will tell this individual, I expect to have this goal accomplished, this program released, this teleseminar done and out there being promoted. And they'll keep me accountable on it. And if for some reason there is something going on that is preventing me from moving forward, we'll sit and discuss it and figure out, is it fear? Is it procrastination? Really, procrastination in the long run is fear that's holding you back. However, she makes me accountable on my promises, on my word. I stay true to my word with these people, and I highly recommend having accountability partners. Now, when I first started out in business, I really didn't know anybody. And these are the places that I have found so many amazing people, and I'm sure you may know a lot of them. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TweetChat, YouTube. I got involved in some different areas on Ning. I got involved with a bunch of groups there. iVillage, Social Jane, Self-Growth, eCademy, eFactor, Upspring, and Rise, which is RYZE. There are so many online sites. You need to figure out what works best for you. And I only suggest you do a few of them. Do not waste a lot of time on all of them, because you're just going to really wear yourself out real fast. but get involved in a few of them. I'm sure Facebook and Twitter, you are on YouTube, LinkedIn. I enjoy self-growth, YouTube, and TweetChat. So now these are just online sites. Another place that I like to use in person is Meetup.com. I go to Meetup.com and I get involved in a lot of the interests that intrigue me. I get involved in book clubs, in coffee clubs, in entrepreneurs, social media, and I go to these places and I meet people. However, just like you and me, when we're walking into a place that we know nobody, we get a little intimidated, a little bit afraid. But I want to make sure that you understand it's not just you, we all do it. We all kind of step back and we become afraid, like, oh my God, will they like me? Will they enjoy what I have to say? Will I make a fool of myself? Our minds can really send us to hell and back if we allow them to. But by persevering in that fear, the next time you go to your next meetup, it's a little bit easier and a little bit easier. But one thing I found that really worked for me is when I went in, I would look around and I would see, is there anybody else who looks uncomfortable? And I would go and talk to them. And it would make me feel so much better that there was somebody else in my place too, and they were just as uncomfortable. There was one networking meeting I went to in Florida, and I tell you, honest to God, I'm standing in the parking lot debating on whether or not to go in. I literally wanted to. I started the car 3 times to leave. And finally I'm like, Tricia, you can do this. And I love being social and I love meeting new people, but there are just some days where I'm like, oh my God. And that's okay. I don't want you to think that it's a bad thing or think that there's anything wrong with you, because there's not, because we've all been there. Another thing I'd really like to go over with you is when you're looking for a supportive environment, the most important aspect of finding one is getting involved with people who have the entrepreneur mindset. And to me, this means people just like myself. I personally look for people who are success driven. Now, however, success means a lot of things to a lot of people, so define that for yourself. Passion filled. A risk taker. No matter how difficult situations may seem, we prevail using our wits and anything else at our disposal. Comfortable with the uncomfortable and constant change, knowing when something is not working and changing direction in midstream. Positive, inspiring, and motivated are must-haves for me. Ability to be solution-oriented. Now, I want to make sure that you're careful when you're creating your groups to find out what you really want. Because if you start bringing in a lot of drama and negativity, it brings the whole group down, it brings your supportive environment down, and when you hit a rut and you go to ask for help, it may not be there. So it's apparently very huge out there that you really are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with, that you associate with. So make those 5 people count. Make them important to you. Just as important as they are to you, you are to them. And you bring just as much to the group and to these people as they do to you. So it's a two-way street. I want to make sure you make it a good group.